So my question to you is energy, effort, and hustle, is that a skill?
I don't think it's a skill. I think it's a behavior, and I think it's something that anybody can give if they just try hard enough. Unfortunately, I think the skill in it. I think there's skill in it, and I think that's the mentality part. I think there's a skill to be smart, a skill to have high IQ, and it's kind of like someone who says, "Oh, I'm not bad at school. I just don't try." Well, there's a certain level of mentality that you lack. The reason why you even feel you need to have that type of mentality. Some people literally say, "I'm going to go hard no matter what." So I'm looking at it like he missed both.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's a skill,
Yep.
right? So some years ago, when we had some college coaches come in, they were recruiting a kid named Daniel Ransom. I'm pretty sure you know Ransom is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel Ransom, the first thing they said was, "Coach, he has a lot of hustle. Like, that's a skill these days." And at first I was kind of like, nah, that's something that's in you. That's what I want to, right?
Right.
And the more I thought about it, the more I would find me and Frazier, like, in practice, teaching how to give second and third effort. And hustle is what? Second and third effort, right? It's not really your first effort. It's your second and third effort. Your first effort is the defense. Oh, I played the defense, but anybody can say, oh, like, okay, I started to lock up right here. I plucked the ball. Okay, cool. The second effort is to go get it. Oh, he's trying to foot race to you. Now you got to kick in a third gear. Like, can I go get it first? And you find yourself, with skill development, you find yourself teaching kids situations and stuff, right? We find ourselves now teaching what hustle looks like. And it's crazy. Like, I think it's wild. But I'll give you this example, right? I was watching the other day, two of my players, like when they're in the off season, I don't really mess with them. I try to give them their time to create. So when they're playing one-on-one, we had tennis practice, and sometimes we'll just go and hoop after tennis practice or whatever. But you also notice it in the season. They're playing one-on-one, and a lot of times these days in one-on-one, they just stop. They just stop. Like when we were growing up, oh no, you get your own board. That's your fault. You ain't go get the rebound. That rule is no longer in play. You play 3 dribbles, right? And at first I was like, when Jalen Curry and them playing for us, I was okay with that because I told Jalen, I'm not chasing you around all the time. Take your 3 dribbles, you get to your spot, you get a pull up, or you get to the ring. You know, it's king of the court. Right. But the more I notice, it's hurting us late. Like us, when I say us, I'm talking about like basketball culture in general because kids don't know how to sit in and mentally play defense for a long amount of time or say, all right, I'm tired of you dribbling the ball, I'm gonna go get it. Then when they shoot, I'm just gonna watch. I don't even box out because I know I'm getting the ball if I miss.
Right.
But once I stopped and I said, yo, this ain't gonna get y'all nowhere. I said, old boys in play, dribble as many times as you want. The minute we put in there, dribble as many times as you want, and old boys in play, they still want to go get it fast, right? So they weren't spending mad dribbles, mad long taking to get the shots off and stuff. But when the ball would go off, they had to learn. I had to keep yelling, go get the rebound before it registered to them. Hey, look, I might not win on 3-pointers this game. I'm getting tired. We played the game in 3. They were both leaned over, breathing for air. To 3. And I'm like, this is what's wrong with today. This is why you can't get to that second, third level of energy and effort and hustle. You can't, like, a person can't look at you and go, yo, when is he gonna quit? Because all I know that you have to do. Now, and that's my point in this right here.
They should have been doing that.
They should have been doing this. You're smaller. Why are we saving our energy for one final push?
Yeah. What you said was perfect, and I think that's what I was getting at by saying I think the skills is the behavior. Because the behavior is the mentality part. Yes, I do think that you gotta want it to hustle. But on top of that, one thing that you said that was very key, you said a lot of people's not gonna play defense for that long. To me, the skill is the mentality and having that mental toughness to stay disciplined longer than the offense is willing to try to score.